Hey, welcome or welcome back to my channel where I make multimedia art for the queers, the gays, the girls. I got you all. I got you all. Today, we're talking about how I discovered I'm gender fluid. A discovery I came into earlier this year, around March. So I feel like I need to give you guys some context, especially if you're new to my channel, because we need to catch you up. We need to catch you up to speed. I transitioned to be a boy when I was like younger, and I lived as a guy for 7 years. I've been on T for 7 years. Actually, I think I've lived as a guy for 8 or 9 years. And I had a very binary view of myself. And I think a lot of trans people did, like in the past, like decade, back when we didn't have a lot of exploration of gender. Like what we had was basically like very binary representations of transness, and the idea that we had of non-binary people was also very limited. Like it was limited to just our understanding of, oh, this person identifies as neither man or woman. And as trans people, particularly in the West, I would say, but across the globe, as we've been able to explore gender, as the Gen Zers have been able to explore gender through TikTok and through like YouTube and through connecting with each other online through the internet, we have discovered like more gender. I felt very binary man, and I did all the right things. I went to the boys' sleepovers, we watched Borat, we made misogynistic jokes. I did all the stuff. I did all the stuff that a boy would do. I started skating. I developed opinions about women that were very like male opinions of women, and I felt I ended up representing like a very perfect depiction of a straight cis white boy. Although I don't think I gave the straight vibe. I gave maybe the bisexual vibe. But long story short, I was like cookie cutter cis white boy, and that was great. Like it was awesome because I was able to be who I was, and I was stealth during like a lot of these years, and I could not even talk about my transness. Like I did not know how to talk about being trans to cis people. I didn't even know how to talk about being trans to other trans people, because I didn't even want to be friends with other trans people, especially if they didn't pass, because I passed as a trans person. I passed as cis, and I was like, I just don't even want to associate with non-passing trans people because I feel deeply uncomfortable with this part of me, and I don't want to be associated. And so I was removed from a lot of trans community because I did not want to make that I did not want to be associated. Hey love, are you feeling lonely this winter? Join us in a community call where you can be trans and limitless. Leave your fear and shame at the door and receive the healing that can only come with genuine queer community, co-regulation, and nervous system attunement. If you're looking for a soft place to land, this is it. I'll see you in our community calls. Bye. And so earlier this year, I was having a conversation with a person, and this person says to me, you know, while you identify as a very binary trans guy, you don't see gender as binary at all, just so you know. And I was like, hold on. I don't like this. I don't like this talk. I don't like what you just said to me. Like, but then the next day I was like, hold on. Well, shit, you're right. I do not see gender in a binary way. I think it's all fluid. I think it's all whatever. But I identify as a binary trans guy. I'm very binary. I'm very much cis. But then I was like, hold on. Is this really me? Because I liked dressing femme. I was like, I like this, you know, and I'm a queer guy. So like, queer guys can dress femme, right? That makes sense. And then also I was like, she, her pronouns make me uncomfortable. Don't even get me started on they, them, because in my association, I was like, they, them means that you don't see me as a person. That's what I thought. Like, I'm not so stupid, but it's just like, I was like, what do you mean they, them? I'm a person. I'm a he or a she, like, you know, like the... But then I was like, you know what? When people refer to me as they, them, they're just being respectful. They're not necessarily implying that I'm weird or strange. When I had these couple of realizations, I was like, hold on. Like, I don't view this binarily. Like, I don't even, like, and then I considered the fact that what if I'm not binary? Like, what if, like, what if this is not even me? If I peeled back all the layers and just was myself, what would be left? And what I discovered was, like, a girl? And that confused me. Oh, not to mention, and if you've read my Queer Waters ebook, y'all who are new to this channel, y'all who haven't been here for a while, read the Queer Waters ebook. I wrote it specifically for you if you are genderqueer or gender fluid or trans. This experience would have been made so much more easier for me if I had this resource when I was younger. I'll put the link in the description box, but basically what I talk about in this book is that when I realized I was gender fluid, I was like kind of shocked because this is a new way of viewing myself, number one, and number two, I was really high off of that privilege that being a cis-passing white guy gave me, and I did not want to give that up. And so in my admittance to myself that I wasn't binary, I was deeply uncomfortable and ashamed with the fact that I did not want to present masculinely exclusively anymore. I had to sit with myself and I had to recognize that just because I identify as a woman does not make me less of a man, does not make me less of a person, and just because I have these feelings of femininity and desire to be feminine does not make me less of a man. Or, well, see where things get really complicated. It doesn't make me less of a person. It makes me just as deserving of peace and trust and love and care and all of that stuff. And considering the fact that I was basically like, okay, for context, I entered high school as a guy, a pretty well-passing guy. I hadn't started T until like a year into high school, but I was passing pretty well off the bat. And so I had a very, very cis guy teenage experience in a lot of ways. Like and so when I speak about certain things, it's like, it's just interesting. It's interesting because in so many ways, my experience now is a trans femme experience. Even though I'm originally trans masc and not like I'm all the things, but most importantly, I'm a lesbian. My flag is over there. I might like put it over here, but like it looks so good right there. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get another flag. I'm gonna get a sapphic flag and I'm gonna put it right here so we have more decorations. Because I'm not a decor person. Like I'm super into feng shui. I love everything in its place. Everything's got a place. Like Wasabi from Big Hero 6. Goated movie. You haven't seen it? Watch it, bitch. Goated movie for real. So I use a lot of like items as decoration. My walls are bare. I love a bare wall. I would like a Hayley Williams poster, but then I'd have to put more posters up, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? So I keep it simple, keep it fresh, keep it moving, because I'm the best. As I was like discovering this, I was like, hold on a second, like I have to throw out all of these preconceived notions about everything. And also, as a binary trans guy, I didn't even understand non-binary people. Like, I thought that a person who is non-binary, two people, if they identified as non-binary, I thought that they had the same gender. But then you realize, like, oh, like, you could have 50 different people. They all identify as non-binary. Those are 50 different genders still. Like that's not all those people identifying as the same gender. That's different genders. Like, gender is when you are non-binary or genderqueer or gender fluid, you recognize that gender is so unique. It is so unique to like you even binary trans people. Like, that's your gender, bitch. Like, you created that. Even if you are binary trans watching this, like, that's you. Like, as much as you might want to be cis and appear cis, that's amazing, that's awesome. I also want to appear cis as a woman. Like, that's cool. It's cool. I would never flag somebody for wanting to be cis. Like, I also want to be cis passing, because I think that it's really helpful socially. But as far as I'm aware, and as far as I care, I am not hard pressed on being cis or appearing cis, because I spent so long being stealth. I spent so long hiding who I was. I spent such a long time trying to pretend to be somebody I wasn't. And for me, it's like a breath of fresh air to just be visibly trans, be visibly queer, be visibly all these things. Even though it does provide some challenges for me, I would much rather be fully myself, because at least the challenges are out there, you know? Like, I feel like any challenges I have, they're just like, I can deal with this, you know? It's right in front of me. I am highlighting right in front of me instead of being like suppressing it down there and being like, you know? Because while being cis passing as a trans person is great, let me tell you, when you pass as cis and people assume you're cis and think you have a peener when you don't, like, that has complications too, because you're not fully yourself with these people. And number one. And number two, when you enter romantic environments, you kind of have to drop a little bomb. You have to explain, right? And so, like, there's a lot, there's like pros and cons to every experience, and that's what I really want people to understand, is that when you're really yourself, the cons don't matter, and the pros feel like euphoria. They feel like bliss. And while I am trans, genderqueer, gender fluid, and while that sucks sometimes, overall, I am living life to the fullest. And people who would not support me or would not treat me like a person or love me the right way, they're gone out of my life. And it's just like easier. It's easier when you're yourself. And I feel like I'm definitely more attractive as a visibly genderqueer, gender fluid person than I was as a cis passing trans guy, because I'm more me and I'm more fun and I'm more following my joy and my excitement. Because when I was a trans guy, let me tell you, even past the point of passing, I didn't allow myself to experience or express any type of femininity, any type of girliness, any type of like getting kiki with the girls, because I was like, I'm a guy, I can't do this shit. And so this is a warning call to anybody who's like binary as a trans person, wants to transition fully, wants to pass as the opposite gender of what you were born as. Just so you know, remember, you're transitioning not to be a replica of cisness. You're transitioning not to be cis passing. You're transitioning to be you, right? And so please consider that passing as cis, if that is your goal, is secondary to the primary goal, which is being yourself. And that's like how I'm gonna tie this whole video together. You wanna be yourself, right? And so you're just gonna have to give yourself so much compassion through this journey, through this experience, through this expression. I thought I had reached the end of my gender journey. Turns out I didn't. And I feel like that's kind of like life. You think you've reached the end, but you're still, I don't know, you're still 28 and you realize, uh-oh, there's more life ahead of me. Or you're still 43 and you thought you would have reached the end of your path, but shit, you're 43 now and there's still so much life to live. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like there is so much life to live. You have all the time in the world to get to know yourself, to become yourself. Queer people, especially gender fluid, gender queer, trans people, y'all, like, we may have only been able to express ourselves fully as ourselves after we left home, after we like got a job and were financially secure, like after we were able to like leave abusive situationships or relationship, I was gonna say situations and relationships. Like please give yourself the slack, the compassion, the empathy that you deserve in this period of time, because at the end of the day, like, there is no competition. Even amongst queer people, there's no competition. Like, just be you. Just be better than who you were yesterday. Just be more at peace than when you were yesterday. Just be better at handling conflict and tension and fear and shame. Just focus on you. And at the end of the day, when you are really yourself, when you're focused on you, the whole world can't help but focus on you too. You're gonna be turning heads when you walk into a room, bitch. And it don't matter that you're genderqueer. Actually, kudos to you for being genderqueer. All right? I'll leave you guys with that. If you loved my channel, if you loved my vibe, consider subscribing Also, consider subscribing consider following me on Instagram. I'm doing a series on there, how I'm dealing with seasonal depression. That series is exclusive to my Instagram. I want to get to 1K followers by the end of the year. So if y'all want to support me in that experience, consider following me on there. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm so excited to connect with you. I'm so excited to bring new people into this journey. I'm so excited to be more myself online, more me, more honest, more authentic and expressive, and bring you guys along on the journey. Do not be shy. Comment. I love reading your comments. It does take me a couple days to get to them, but I read them as soon as I see them, and then I let them cook in my head for a bit, and then I'll respond. All right. It's lovely to catch up with you guys. I hope this winter is treating you well. Y'all know how I'm dealing with the seasonal depression. You can keep track of me, or keep updated with me on my Instagram with that. All right. Peace out, everybody. Love you so much. Bye.